Welcome to Marketing Strategies Uncovered, your go-to podcast to unravel the mysteries of marketing. No more jargon, no more confusion, just simple, effective strategies to help your small business thrive. We're here to make marketing fun and success achievable. I'm excited to introduce you to your host, Rebecca Van Diest. Tune in as she makes the complicated easy to understand, and we'll get your business on the right track, one strategy at a time.
Hey friends, and welcome to another episode of Marketing Strategies Uncovered. I am Rebecca Van Diest, your host, and today we are going to talk about how to start a new business with basically $0 for your marketing. I'm really excited to dive into this. We're going to discuss what's important in the very beginning, some things that you might want to think about as you grow. But this way, you're not going to waste any money. You're going to be profitable from day one. I'm really excited, so let's go ahead and get started. I wanted to do this episode because some of you might be just getting started with your business. Maybe you're really new and you're not really sure what to do for your marketing yet, what's going to give you the most bang for your buck. You might have heard that if you're not making money, you don't have a business, you actually have a hobby at this point. And so you want to be really cautious of where you're spending money. Funds are probably really tight. And you don't want to be wasting money on a business idea that you don't even know is valid or not really profitable yet. So let's go ahead and dig into what you can do. I just read the book Million Dollar Weekend. And this talks about validating your business idea before you start spending money. It's really interesting. And I never really thought about it from this perspective. I love marketing so much that in my head, the first thing I do is I go buy my domain name, I put up a website, and it doesn't always work out. And if you can relate to that, let me know. I'd be glad to know that I'm not the only one. Reading that book, he talks about not getting carried away spending money before you're making any money. So not buying a website, not buying equipment, not paying people to do things for you. I know this can be really difficult for me. I like to feel like I have something that looks good to present to people versus you really just need to validate you have a good idea. You have to find out if there's a need for what you want to do. It makes sense, right? Some common misconceptions about this could be that saying you have to spend money to make money. And I think that's really not necessary, especially depending on what you want to do. I'd really be ideal to actually line up some jobs first and pre-sell your offer if at all possible. Somebody that I really like to follow on YouTube, she's always got some great stories of different business ideas, is Cody Sanchez. She loves to talk about boring business ideas that cost little to no money to start up. And I love hearing about different business ideas. Last week, I actually decided to start a cleaning business, but I'm not going to do any of the cleaning myself. I'm actually going to outsource all of it because I don't have a lot of physical energy extra. I've got a lot going on at my house, my property, and just life in general. I'm also running clickers to clients, and so I have to take into consideration my time. We're just going to kind of see how that all goes. After reading the Million Dollar Weekend book, I did my research, and the first thing I did is I found out if there is a need in my area for this type of business. And I wanted to go ahead and go through with you some things that I found out when I was researching. Is one of the things I did is I looked into local Facebook groups near me, and what I noticed is yes, there was lots of people asking, is there a cleaning business around here? Sometimes it seems like there's one-off people that do it, but nothing legit, nothing that you can Google my city cleaning company or cleaning company near me. There's really nothing that comes up. And what does come up is really bad Google My Business profiles. Nobody has a website attached. And the businesses that are there, there's just really not a lot of them. And I think what's happening in my area too is what is here is kind of maxed out. I was actually looking for accountants near me, about 30 minutes away. And one that I really liked the most said they're not accepting any new clients right now. So it just shows the demand is there for businesses in my area. And honestly, I think jobs are in demand too. Something I want to do is I really want to be a really good employer. I want to be a good company that people want to work for. I want to pay well, have good benefits, have a good incentives that people want to do quality work, want to stick with me long term. And I guess that is part of my marketing is I'm actually going to have this all on my listing for hiring people, is letting them know what I offer, what makes me different. So hopefully that'll help me stand out and I'll find some good quality people to help actually do the cleaning. And the third part of my research is I watched some YouTube videos, just like you would with Google. I went into YouTube and I put how to open a cleaning business. And I found this lady, the professional cleaner, and she has a very different view on marketing when you're opening a new cleaning business and keeping your costs very low. Surprisingly, she doesn't think you should have a website or waste your time doing social media. These are things that she still doesn't do after 20 years of being in the cleaning industry. I love that she's successful. She has a six-figure business. She doesn't have a website. So I did want to include her in this episode because it's really interesting that you don't actually need a website. What she did do for her marketing, where she did spend some money, is she did get business cards that it looks like she designed herself. She had a successful business in Florida and then moved to a whole nother state, like 2,000 miles away. She actually invested in a newspaper ad when she moved. Honestly, I wouldn't even do that. I wouldn't recommend putting in a newspaper ad unless you know that your ideal client are going to be looking at the newspaper. I kind of feel like that's outdated at this time. She said that she did that 5 years ago. And I think even 5 years ago, more people were getting physical newspapers than they do now. Most people now, they are Googling. They're looking at Google My Business profiles and they're looking at websites. They're trusting Google to match them with the service that they need. So in my opinion, I would do that. But if you're on a budget, it just shows you don't need a whole lot. Tell people what you're doing and do free things like a business Facebook account. Those can actually come up in search results. Honestly, you don't even need a business card. I actually hired somebody and paid him thousands of dollars to remove several trees on my property. He didn't have a business card. I contacted him on Facebook. He has a business profile account and I messaged him on there. He came to my house. The truck he was driving wasn't even branded when he did the interview to work for me. And I chose to hire him. And he didn't need to be licensed until he actually got the job, right? So you don't even need to spend money on licensing until you know that you have a job lined up and you could even pre-sell that job, letting people know, hey, can you give me 10% or $100 up front just to secure your spot on my calendar? Whatever you want to do, whatever feels good to you. So this lady, she actually relies more on networking or leaving handwritten cards with the businesses or on people's doors if she wants to work in a neighborhood. And she just puts her business card inside. She does recommend going to business owners and talking to them face to face. You can do networking. So going to things like the local chamber of commerce, you can do this for free. You don't have to be a member to visit and you can get your name out there. This is a really great way to network. And if you don't have business cards yet, what I would do is just have your cell phone out, like it's just totally normal for you, and saying, oh, hey, I would love to stay in touch with you. What is it that you do again? Put in their name and their phone number, send them a text with your name and phone number. So that way they have that saved and maybe book a one-to-one getting together at a coffee shop if they're going to be a good referral partner for you. And just make it sound like, oh, this is just what I do. Feel confident in yourself, feel confident in your business. And again, you don't need anything for that, completely free. How she talked about with networking, face-to-face, and referrals being such a huge part of her business, it reminds me of how I scaled clickers to clients, my digital marketing business, and I got that to 6 figures just with networking and with referrals. So it really does show it does work. I love having a website because it makes me feel more confident, but is it a need? No. Did I need it in the very beginning? No. I could have definitely gotten away with a Facebook business page, things that could make me still feel comfortable and professional, but not really costing me a lot of money. So these are some really great ways to validate, do you have a good business idea? Are people willing to pay you, work with you, hire you before you're spending a lot of money? If you do feel like you need business cards, I actually created and designed mine on Canva, and I got 100 for $30 just to start out with. It's not the cheapest version, so it just shows you can still get decent quality business cards for not a lot of money. Also, what I like about getting a small amount of business cards is it lets you see it in person, and then you know if you like it and if you want to reorder. Something that I realized this morning is, oh, I'd really like to add a QR code. So the next order of business cards, I'm going to change it a little bit. So I'm glad that I didn't order a whole bunch in the beginning. A great first step, if this is your first business, your first idea, is to try and get 3 people who will give you money before you start. This will validate your business idea based on the book that we've been talking about. So you don't need a license, you don't need a bank account, insurance, anything really until you start working, right? Just validate your business idea, and then you'll know if it's worth investing in. I hope you found this video helpful, and I would love to know, how much did you spend to start your business before you made a profit? If you're like a lot of business owners and spent thousands before you made a profit, what would you do differently? Send me a direct message over on Facebook or leave me a comment on my YouTube channel and just let me know wherever you're watching this or listening to this. I'd love to hear from you. I wanted to let you know that I'm talking about this cleaning business that I'm starting and what I'm doing for my marketing. I'm actually going to talk through this whole thing with a special guest who is a well-known business coach and get their feedback live for the podcast. So keep an eye out over the next few weeks for that episode, and I'll share all the details of what I'm doing and the progress that I'm making along the way. We'll get real advice on what steps I should take to make my goal a reality. That's another tip to leave you with today. You don't have to know everything, but find the person that you need to help you and fill in the gaps between what you know and what you need. Don't be afraid to reach out for help when you need it. Really, nobody does anything by themselves. It always takes a lot of people supporting you to make things happen, whether that's your referral partners or your friends, your family, your support system, whoever those people may be. So thank you so much for watching Marketing Strategies Uncovered, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you for listening to Marketing Strategies Uncovered. In the show notes, you'll find an exclusive invite to a separate secret podcast. This 4-part series is by invitation only. With SEO Secrets Unlocked, you'll learn how to transform your website into a lead-generating powerhouse. So why wait? Dive into the show notes, unlock the secrets, and take the first step to supercharge your digital presence. Join us next time for another episode of Marketing Strategies Uncovered. Remember, don't let your business get lost in Google space. Keep improving your marketing so you can show up online and stand out from the competition.